Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the ignition lock cylinder on this 2003 Chevy Monte Carlo. And it's the same part and similar process on these Monte Carlos from 2000 to 2005. And the items you'll need for this is a new ignition lock cylinder from 1AAuto.com, 7, 8, and 10 millimeter socket and ratchet with an extension, T25 Torx bit, flat blade screwdriver, and an E5 external Torx bit. Start off by disconnecting your negative battery cable. You just use an 8 millimeter socket and ratchet and remove it. Underneath your steering wheel, you'll see this panel. You want to just push in these two tabs and pull it down, then twist this socket free and pull the bulb out. And then you want to remove these two 7 millimeter screws.
Pull out your fuse panel door, and especially make sure that the lower clip comes out, and then pull basically straight back on the lower panel on both sides, and then use a small flat blade screwdriver to help you release the clip on the harness and remove the harness.
Inside here, there's a T25 screw. Just go ahead and remove that. And then pry out on this lever, and it just pulls free. And then you can pull the panel straight down, and then unhook it and pull it forward. Next, you want to remove these two E5 external Torx bolts. There's one right here, and then one right here on the other side. And we'll just fast forward as Mike removes those. Once those are removed, you can pull this upper panel up and off. Now pull this panel off the rest of the way and remove this 7 millimeter bolt right here. Pull down your glove box and then remove the 7 millimeter bolt right up here. Pry off this bezel. And then pull out on either side of the dash panel. And you want to just feel for the clips back behind it and pull out. And once you get it free, just pull it forward.
Use a flat blade screwdriver to disconnect the hazard switch, and be careful while doing this because you can break the bezel fairly easily.
And now put your keys in the ignition and turn it to the on position and pull your shifter back all the way, and then lift your dash panel up and out. Next, you want to remove a series of bolts that hold on this panel. You can see there's 3 7 millimeters on this side and 1 7 millimeter bolt over here. And then back behind this plate, you can see there's 10 millimeter bolts up there, slightly gold color. And you're going to want to remove those and the ones behind them as well. And to get these ones, you can go up through here. And to get the one back behind it, you can just go on the other side of the plate, reaching up from underneath, and get them that way. And we'll fast forward as Mike removes those. Next, remove these two 10mm bolts that hold in your ignition switch. Now pull your ignition switch down through the hole where the plate was. And then push the tabs on this harness and disconnect it. And using a flat blade screwdriver, pry out on this tab and disconnect this harness. And then put your key in the ignition and turn it to the on position. Then push in on this tab and pull that free. And then push in on this tab and pull your lock cylinder free. Now you can push the tabs on this harness and disconnect it. On the left is the old ignition lock cylinder. On the right is the new one from 1A Auto. You can see they're identical and they'll fit exactly the same.
To reinsert, reconnect the bottom harness on the switch if you took it off. You need to make sure that your assembly is in a position, it's in the on position, so that that little tab on top will move up and down freely. Insert it back in, and it remains in the on position. Connect the cable, then you can move it to the off position and reconnect your harnesses.
Now reconnect your negative battery cable and just tighten it up. On a lot of these cars, when you replace the ignition lock cylinder, you will have to reset the security. So when you try to start the car, you'll realize it doesn't work. And on your message center here, you'll see a blinking security light. Right there. And what you want to do is just wait until that light goes off. Leave the car in the on position until that light goes off, and it can take about 10 minutes. And then when the light goes off, turn the key off and wait 6 seconds. Then turn the key on and attempt to start the car once. Let off. And then that security light will come back on and start blinking again. You want to repeat the entire process, waiting until it goes off again, and just keep doing this. It does take about 30 minutes, so you may need to jump start your car. But after you've done it 3 times, when you go to start your car, it starts up. Now just feed your ignition switch back up into place. And once you've got it in place, replace those two 10mm bolts. Replace this panel and the 10 and 7mm bolts that hold it in place. To reinstall the dash panel, open up your glove box, turn the key to the on position and pull the shifter all the way back. Pull your steering wheel down, and then tuck the dash panel back behind the steering wheel. Now reconnect your harness. Then you can slide your shifter forward and remove the key, and then push the dash panel back in the rest of the way, and then just push in the clips all the way around it. And we'll fast forward as Mike replaces those two 7mm bolts and tightens them up. And just push this bezel back into place. Tilt the steering wheel back down, and then feed this upper panel back into place, and push it back down. And replace those two E5 inverted Torx bolts. Now feed in the lower panel, and you want to push the back behind and reclip those two hooks. And then swing up the front and push it into place. And then just replace that T25 Torx screw. Reconnect the harness to your switch, and then line up the panel and push it back into place. And then replace the two 7mm bolts at the bottom of the panel. Push the bulb back into the socket and twist it back into this panel, and then feed the panel back, and then just push it back up into place.
And just finish off by pushing the tilt lever back into place and putting your fuse panel cover back into place.
We hope this video helps you out. Brought to you by oneaauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free, 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.